Alright, y'all. It's about 10:04 p.m. here in the temporary timeline. Yeah, September 25th, 2020. Friday night. While Buck Coffee cools, as Buck Coffee cools, we'll hang out, be cool. I don't know. We'll go back to school. Shit, I don't know. We'll talk like dumb fools. I don't know. Yeah, I took some risks with Vini's channel. Yeah, because, well, I feel bad about moving him into this old people complex, signing that lease for a whole year. He can't make music for a year unless, like, some kind of miracle happens or some shit, right? You know, I didn't realize how bad it would make his life, you know, because, well, the kitties are gone, his ministry's gone. Really got nothing, you know. I mean, if you think about it, poor dude. And, I don't know, I would like to manifest something for him where I could, like, I don't know, get him away from here even. Just get him a Harley and get him away, you know? And then when he comes back, if I've got him, like, halfway across the country on a Harley, he's got to ride that fucker back. He may decide he doesn't want to. What's there to come back to? Just his dog. You know, and his dog will be alright with them. Ultimately, there's no reason to keep him stuck here to this area. So close, yet so far away to what he's, you know, wanted ever since he saw her, you know? It's like... So yeah, I shared some stuff, you know, that, from 2012. It's a little bit controversial in the sense that, well, it caused a huge come down on him federally and shit. You know, they fucking dogged him out big time over that shit. So it's like, well, fuck, you know, what's he got to lose now? We're almost at the crash point. Hey, here's what they didn't want you to see for 8 years and shit. And they didn't want you to hear this shit. Yeah, and they wanted to dog you out. Even the artists who he sampled turned against him because he didn't make it down there to the show in 2012 or some shit. I don't know. Some weird shit's in the fucking memory, man. His memory. And he's tried to just block it out. Just like a lot of shit with, like, you know, he has these issues, you know, that he's supposed to have certain things, you know, by the time he's his age. He's supposed to have, like, property in a house and a nest egg put away, you know, all that shit, you know. And, because that's what everybody else's age has, you know. And, he's got nothing, like, to offer a woman, so it's like, you know, he doesn't even have, like, the mentality of wanting to approach one. And that's kind of why he wasn't more aggressive with, you know, besides it just being, well, she's very young, and if she didn't even, you know, have any, like, response to him, then it's like, okay, don't even fucking go there. She's young, man. Just leave her the fuck alone. You know, that mentality. No matter how bad you want it, some things you can't have, yo. So, he didn't approach her because all he had was himself to offer, you know? Which, you know, in her hands, with her and her sister, they could actually take by putting him with them, you know, it, like, kind of would turn their music act into a freak show that people couldn't look away from. And then who knows, maybe just by adding the element of him, that might put something on their muse and in their frequencies that would have, and plus just the triangle, you know, something Triumph figured out. That's why they were three-piece. Let me check this real quick. I've been waiting for a text back from somebody about something. it's from my sister. She changed her number today, so she's been trying to catch up on the text that I sent to her other phone. But yeah, I remember when Vini was getting approached in 2012. And, you know, the only person he wanted to hear from was Jesse. You see? The only thing that mattered, you know, I mean, he was getting contacts from people about shit, you know, because, well, you know, getting played on the radio on the coast and shit might, you know, cause motherfuckers to, you know, look at you for a minute, right? So, yeah, he had some other girls that wanted him to, like, hook up with him and shit to sample them, like he did, you know, that cut that's at the end of the last video. Why Satan attacks Lucifer. Which, you know, Vini's family has no support for any of the stuff he does. And they can only find, like, ways to demonize it and shit. You know, find problems with it with their hypocrisy, you know, and their ineffectiveness. It's like, huh, you know, how dare you fucking judge somebody? You give money to a motherfucker that wouldn't do half the shit Vini does, you know, would do and has done. In service to Yah, right? He still got you calling him a descriptive snake and shit instead of whatever his name is, right? You know? So, I don't know. That was a horrible analogy. I keep using it. But, yeah, Vini didn't... He kept getting all these communications in 2012, and every time he got one, he just was like, oh, wow, you know? Because he was always hopeful that it was Jesse, right? And it wasn't. And he couldn't figure out why, because, well, you know, other people wanted him, and other people, you know, like there was people that were willing to fly him, you know, instead of him bring his wife and his kitty and his dog in his van. Vini, we'll just fly you down here, and you can just hang out with us. You can stay with us at our place. You know, it's like that's what they were doing, man. He was getting offers like that. And it was scary to him. Everything, you know, the whole concept, the idea of going out there by yourself was scary, right? And then he used, you know, the fact that, oh, I'd be taking off and leaving, you know, Hail Your Highness behind, you know. I'd be leaving Jesse behind. And he used that as an excuse to fucking bury his head in the sand and act like fucking there wasn't a stampede coming for him. For real. He's got that in his memory. You see? The warmest one is the one I was just smoking. Just keep that over here so I got it. Just keep it in my hand, poke it. So, yeah, it's like every time he got a communication from somebody, it was just like he was let down. And that was really, it's funny to look at in his memory now, you know, and to find a video from back in that era, the video and the song that actually garnered the attention, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's what caused everybody to look at him, was Apple Bottom Valley, you see, and the nun dancing to it, which now that video is ran through an effects, you know, some kind of filter, but it used to be a clean video. I don't know where you'd find a version of that now, but there used to be a clean version of it that was, you know, I guess it was, to him, it was too harshly vivid. And, you know, he has this complex about how he looks. You know, the older he gets, he has more of a complex about it. And it's like, man, I come from the next timeline. It's like you've been visiting there. You know the motherfuckers in their 30s look older than you, man. You know, and they look haggard and wore out. They're not as fucking virile as you, you know. It's like, fuck. They're in pretty bad shape. So you really shouldn't feel bad. You haven't let yourself go that bad, you know, compared to other people your age. And if nobody goes and tells anybody your age, then nobody knows your age. That's what's so funny. You stand next to your younger brothers and they always think you're the youngest one. And the closest one is fucking 5 years younger than you, and the other one's 8 years younger. It's like, wow. What is that, clean living? It sure the fuck ain't no tortured baby blood. Then he won't fuck with no shit like that. He don't fuck with chemicals. Well, as Cassandra, he'll do some crack. To get suck happy and take it up the booty and shit, I imagine. Because he has a fantasy of doing it. You see, you know, we keep getting off track from the subject matter, and that's why it's dragging out. It's taking the whole guy. It's monopolizing the video, talking about, you know, what should have took 5 minutes. You know, because it's like, well, I don't know. It's a big thing to him. He's got the girls. He's there right now. He's in the next timeline. He has the girls. I don't know what it is. If he's afraid that if they don't connect with him, you know, in this timeline, that they won't be there. You know, is it like, you know, is it Back to the Future? Are they going to fucking disappear if, you know, by some magic trick he doesn't attract these girls to him? You know, it's like, what if it's not meant to be? What if they're never, ever, ever, ever in this timeline going to even look at him twice? And if they do, they'll be like, ew, that old dude's fucking talking about us or looking at us again or some shit, you know? That's why I don't even look at him. I don't have a clue what's going on with them. I tried to take a peek at their fucking YouTube page, and it took a long time to load. And it's like, oh, my God. They've got it set to where, like, he can't even look at it from this town or some shit. Or, you know, I don't know. It's just, it gave me the willies. Like, oh, my God, you know? So, yeah, I think there's a video there. It looked like the last video was a song. Yeah, and then there was a walk or some shit. You know, it's like, I don't know what I could gain, what knowledge I could gain from either thing, you know, and I don't know. It's like Vini's got it in his recent physical memory that he just wanted to back away, that he didn't want to make her feel uncomfortable, or, you know, that it's like, okay, he realized that they're not going to get together. It's not going to happen. It was a pipe dream. He realized that this was happening. Shit was coming for him. And that he was going to be in even less of a position to, you know, have even less to offer her. You know, it's like, hey, you know, he already had nothing, so he was embarrassed. You know, hey, yeah, hook up with an old bum, kid. You know, no one can stop us now. You know, it's like, shit. I can see his point. I can see, you know, how, like, he's so afraid of it. He's so afraid to make that, you know, to try and connect, because, well, it just seems like every time he did it, it made her, you know, if there was a reaction, you know, I mean, for all he knows, there was never a reaction. And, you know, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. She referred to a stalker or some shit. He's got that in his memory. And he took it as, wow, she's talking about me being her stalker. You know, because if she's got another stalker, I'll go beat his ass, you know? It's like, he has hit protect the nature about these girls that fucking don't even know fucking he exists and shit. It's like some funny shit, man. Yeah. You wouldn't want to fucking be a threat to either one of them girls if Vinny's around, because, well, he'd probably fucking end up getting his old ass fucked up and fuck you up at the same time. And if you fuck with Vini in this timeline, I can already tell you from the next timeline, you're going to get fucked up. There's 2 timelines fucking with this shit now. That's what, you know, the dumb motherfuckers up in here ain't figured out, and they ain't stopped this shit yet. We don't care. We'll take it. Yeah. So it's like, wow, you know, Vini did all this shit. He put his phone number out there. He put a proposal, a wedding proposal to this chick in a song. Fucking hashtag the name to it. It's like, you know, either she don't look at the hashtags, or, you know, she was grossed out by the concept, or she didn't like the idea, or she hated the song, she didn't listen to it. I don't know, you know. I don't know. You know, you can't know about somebody, you know. Some people, you won't look into a bubble at them, you know. It's like, you just won't look. You know what I'm saying? Vinny knew shit was happening with women he was with, and he wouldn't go look. He just wouldn't even go look. He knew it was happening, and he wouldn't go look. And so then when he'd ask him later about it, and are you accusing me? It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. You know, this is in his fucker's memory, man. You know? And it's like, well, he could go look in the bubbles now if he wants to see, you know, because we'll always sit that, you know, he should actually want to show himself. Or maybe he doesn't want to see how bad it is, you know, just how many betrayed him for some ass. When it's like, hey, if Vinny's with a woman and she wants to fuck a dude, you know, and he wants to fuck her, he ain't gonna have a problem with that. I mean, you know, like if she keeping a secret for him, so like, hey, wow, you know, they're closer connected than they are to Vinny, you see? Because, well, he's still closer connected to him because, well, they went home with him. They ain't sneaking off to do nothing with no motherfucker, you see? And Vinny even arranged the shit. Like, if the bitch is too shy or whatever, you know? He'll approach him. Look at that hot-ass bitch who wants to fuck you, yo. You see what I'm saying? He'll get you up on the dick you want to be propped up on. You see, it's like that's the mentality he's got. And then to go and betray him for some, you know, some sex, it's like, you know, damn, you know, it's just nasty. It's childish. This molested child behavior. You got to go sneak and shit. They have that extra sneaky thrill put on it. Ain't the sex enough? The cuckolding? You're with somebody, but he's not enough for you. You got to fuck somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Which there's nothing wrong with that. Some women need a variety. And you can't do, you know, have a double standard. Oh, it's okay for dudes to need more than one woman, but it's not okay for a woman to need more than one dude. Actually, I think it will be more acceptable because women's vaginas are different than a man's penis. A man's penis can be satisfied with her mouth and her butthole as well as her vagina. So he has 3 options with just one woman. So there's always variety if she's willing to, like, keep it interesting and keep it where, okay, he's only fucking me, you see. But with the woman, unless you're going to, like, use fists, fingers, and dildos on her, she's going to need some other action. It's just how a woman's set up. There's the physical instinct of their body to, you know, almost want to be like dolphins. And you know how dolphins mate. If you don't, well, National Geographic or some fucking show. Come on, it's right there at your fingertips. Google while it's still here. Because, well, it's not on the next timeline. There ain't no social media platforms there. It's really cool, man. Because, well, you are judged based on your talent and your worth and how much, you know, work you put into it, you know? So when you do something really awesome, motherfuckers are appreciative, yo. It's like, oh, wow. Yeah, you know, we're coming to see that concert for real, you see? And ain't none of these freaks that did none of this stupid ass shit with entertainment and the media. You know, they made it to where, like, Yaz people couldn't even be lumped in with them. So it looked like they can't reap what they sow. Like, oh, God is mocked. No, you just can't be viewed upon when, you know, these motherfuckers are doing this shit right here as one of them. You know, you're all up on, you know, torture baby blood and shit. You're towing the line, or you're just completely retarded, or you're following a script because you're afraid to lose your fame. You know, you're afraid of becoming irrelevant, or they found a way to make you relevant again. You see? You found a way to relevancy all over again because, well, you spent your millions like a child instead of investing them in a couple businesses and shit. Or the businesses you invested in, they went under with this bullshit. Yeah, see? So now look, got a lot of shit happening. And it don't happen because it gets undone. And it's like, man, I have this giggly daydream vision of Vinny getting a text from, you know, Jesse, and when he opens it and realizes it's from her, he just falls over dead. For real, because I think he's that afraid of her. You know, for real, I really do think that the guy is, like, scared of this chick, like, you know, some people are scared of spiders and snakes and shit. You know, some people are scared of this hoax that's happening. You know, it's like, I think he's really scared of her, man. You know, and that's why he doesn't try. He doesn't try to, you know, he doesn't, well, I think he feels like he did all that he could do. You know, I mean, you know, you serenade a woman through the window. She knows it's you. She knows you're singing the song to her. She knows, you know, you're delivering a message to her in the song. And then it's on her. She wants to receive it and respond to it. You see, and it's what it's been like. He's been serenading her through the windows, you know, the internet windows. He's been serenading Jessie Mae Babameyer since 2010, 2011. And he's been serenading this chick through the windows, you know, feeling this thing for her, you know, that, well, why should he even feel it? You know, how do you know that this chick ain't just going to drive you completely nuts? You know, you try to even be around her for more than just fucking her, you know? And, or, you know, like if you're playing music with her, well, okay, well, then you have that. You're focusing on that. But, like, you know how people are. They want, like, women want their men to like the stuff they like. You know, they don't want him to be an individual. Well, you know, I like this, but he doesn't have to like it. And I appreciate that, you know, he's honest enough to say, hey, well, I don't like that. You know, I'm not going to roll down the road listening to it. Let's find something neutral, common ground, or let's not listen to nothing. Let's listen for messages from the future timeline or from the universe or from Yah, you know. Let's kind of, you know, just let our minds be connected to spirit for a little while we roll down the road or some shit, you know. There's always a compromise that can be reached unless, you know, somebody in the group is just too retarded to compromise, you see. And, well, you know, a lot of Vini's spirituality, what we have attained for this portal action, for, you know, the timeline jumps, is attained through self-discipline. You know, if we played video games and watched TV and, you know, watch sports and listen to mainstream music, I mean, you know, once in a while you might listen to a mainstream song on the radio, you know, especially like if it's an old jam or something. But, you know, if we did that, you know, and if we were like, you know, constantly, you know, drinking alcohol and doing chemicals and shit, we wouldn't have the in-depth spirituality, the spiritual connection that makes us able to connect beyond here, beyond this realm, through the astroscape into the future timeline, and vice versa. I was able to reach back, you see. But the reason I was able to reach back was because Vini had reached a point. Pre-Vini had reached a point of self-evolution, self-education, you know, in the things that matter. And he could no longer be resisted, you see. He had been being pulled onto the astroscape, and there was no more like, okay, he could only go to this part of the astroscape, like with other people who haven't made it to the next timeline. They can only go to a certain part of the astroscape. They can't get over to, you know, beyond the abyss, to where like they could go to the future timeline. So they don't get to see it even. You see, they don't even get to see the wall of time, the bubbles, because that's on the other side of the abyss too, you see. So it's like it takes a graduate spirit to jump over to the next timeline. Somebody that graduated from here can do it. They connect with their future self. They can see what has been accomplished. They can see the next timeline. They can actually go be that person while that person comes here and be's them. You see? It sounds crazy as hell, I know. Yeah. Everything about this thing is crazy, yo. But it makes a lot more sense of what they presented in church. For reals. I mean, it's just all science. And it's simple science. I mean, it's been simplified down to layman's terms, man. You know, where like, you're talking to kindergartners and shit. So, you know, people in this timeline should be able to wrap their minds around it. Especially somebody who's supposed to be like a computer programmer. And you lay it out like, you know, because so many people had to restore their computers. So they know when you take it back to a restore point, which is what Yah described, this thing is going to get taken back to a restore point. Everything that happened will be undone. It never happened. The infected files, the contaminants, will be put in time loops. And, well, first there'll be a crash point where it just crashed. The infected files will go in time loops. While they're being time looped and spiritually executed to never get born, this thing gets taken back to a restore point and restarted. Okay? Everything that they did gets undone. Those that had to be time looped. That's what means tried by fire. If your works, you know, they're tried by fire, you know, they fail. You see, to graduate to the next timeline. And it's like, you know, these entities that they got into watching animals be tortured and, you know, killed, and they wasted, you know, their whole entire pre-existence here, you know, with dumb shit, I know, playing video games, trolling, you know, the dumb shit people do in this timeline, man. You know, it's like the trillion ways to waste your life away, your time in this timeline, rather than do something good for something else. You see, whether it's an animal or a person. There's something that each one of us has been exposed to that deserves more than the universe has been able to provide it. And we're strategically placed there to be those hands that can do it. You see? We're the ones that can do this. Yes, we are. We fit the bill perfectly. Exactly. You see? We were made for this specific purpose. Keep waiting for a text, man. I don't know who the last one was from. I already forgot. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. See, I'm out here late. It's 10:26 p.m. now. I'm out here late because, well, she said she's keeping Aslan tomorrow. And I just wanted to know if she was working with her husband, you know, Vini's ex-wife. My ex-wife, I guess. I don't know. She was never my wife because I was never in this timeline like that, you know. You know what I'm saying? It's like I wasn't here with any, like, obligation to her or her to me. And I wasn't coming here back when Vini was with his ex-wife. This is something that's only been happening for 21 years. The lucky 7 3 times. That's got something to do with something and what we're coming into. So anyway, damn, I forgot what I was talking about with the interruption from the. Yeah, she said that she's not working with him tomorrow, so it would mean that Aslan's not gonna be riding around in her truck, and you know, she's gonna be at home, and ain't no reason for her to get out to come over here to bring him over to me early in the morning. She's not going to work or going with him. So I can keep Vini's body up late and try and cleanse it a little bit more with the butt coffee. Because I feel like he's got some problems and he needs some help. Bigger than just, you know, trying to adjust diet or fasting or something. I think he needs, you know, because I couldn't, with the last butt coffee, the last enema, I couldn't put a lot in. I couldn't take it all. Because, well, he was so overstuffed. I was so overstuffed by whatever, you know. This body was, from, you know, having been so long from the last one, you see. It's like, because, well, Vini's body doesn't have the capacity other people's bodies have. For some reason. So he has to, like, he has to do this enema thing to keep up with eating, if he like eats like other people or eats with people, like eats 3 meals a day with other people instead of like lightly grazing like he does if he's by himself. I haven't been doing that. I've been gorging. I've been gluttonous. I've been trying to pack on some weight. He'll be a little bit chubbier, but his face needs some softness to it. You know, it's like I've never seen him look so haggard where his face is skinny. And, you know, he's too old for his face to be skinny. He needs his face to have some chubbiness to it. You'd be all wrinkly, you know, with a skinny face. You can't have that. Start seeing that in the mirror, he'll start believing it, you know. There's no reason for it because, well, he's like his aunt, him and his aunt, his hot Aunt Flo, you know. It's like, she just like, no matter how old she gets, she's still hot. She stays hot. Some people just stay hot, you know. I don't know what it is about them, but they stay hot no matter how old they get. Vinny's one of them people, pre-Vinny, and his Aunt Flo. I'm trying to think of somebody else in the family that's like that, where it's like the older they get, you know, you just like you know, they're still sexy, they're still hot, you know. So, you know, Pre-Vinny got a little haggard from all this the last few months, because they were really hard. And I'm trying to soften him up a little bit because, well, you know, he'll lose the weight. But maybe what's in his face will stay if he keeps drinking enough water. So, you know, when he gets back, if he comes back, if I can't fix things for him, I'm going to leave him there. He's got it all that he sowed seed for. He's got Hell Your Highness. You know what I'm saying? He is part of it. He is an integral part of it. He is loved by them, cherished by them. You know, they cherish each other and love each other, yo. It's like, they're always together. It's like you can't fucking find them apart, you know. It's like if you see one of them, the other two are around somewhere. You know, it's just like they're very protective of each other like that. So I'm thinking that maybe he's right. Maybe he's got to connect with them in this timeline. And that's why, you know, we're so protective, you know, in the next timeline of each other is because of surviving something here, you know. Maybe they didn't take serious something that could be a threat, or didn't see it as a threat, and allowed themselves to get separated from Pre-Vinny in the future here, you see. And when that happened, something happened to them, or one of them, you know, even just one of them. Now, the one I would think something would happen to would be Nikki. You know, because, well, for some reason she has energy on her that attracts a lot of pervy fuckheads. Like Pre-Vinny's got it in his memory. He saw in one of her videos, one of her cover videos, where, you know, okay, she had mean-spirited troll fuckers making comments on her shit. And one of them said some fucked up shit like, oh, yeah, I bet you love it in the backseat, you know. And Pre-Vinny had to stop himself from going after this fucker, man. You know, just like, you know, commenting back to him, yeah, your fucking mama loved it in the backseat too. That's fucking why I'm your daddy. You know, like, he was protective of Jesse's little sister like that, you know, for some reason. And he saw how she has this energy that attracts, you know, the pervy, you know, just like motherfuckers, they just want to take a hot bitch and, you know, do stuff to her, fuck her or whatever, you know. Some motherfuckers want to defile their beauty, which means they want to cut them up or, you know, throw acid on them or some other dumb shit, you know, burn them up, you know. And you can never know when you're somebody like them or like Pre-Vinny in this timeline, when somebody that pretends to love the fuck out of you will get you along and knife you up or fuck you up real bad. You know, you just can never know. And that's why, you know, I know that Pre-Vinny had it in his heart and in his mind that, hey, wow, the three of us could be to where we could be just satisfactory to each other, and we can just be this three, it's just like a three-chorded, three-threaded cord is not easily broken or some shit. You know, they could be that, where it's like, you can't pull them apart, and you can't do nothing to one of them that you don't do to all three of them, you see? So that, you know, if one of them meets a bad fate, they all meet a bad fate. And he wanted it to be like that, where they felt that way about each other, and they determined that they, you know, would do what it takes to be satisfactory to each other in every way. You know, that was some weird, you know, it was weird, dumb fantasy shit that this motherfucker had in his head. with, you know, some young ass girls. You know, it's like the young man. I mean, look at how old, you know, he is. He's 56 in his timeline. I'm not 56 in my timeline. I'm in my 30s. So Vini right now is 33 years old. He's probably younger than Jessie is in this timeline. I don't know. I don't know how old she is. I know she's probably in her 30s by now. Fuck, she was what, like almost 20 when he fell in love with her? Or 20 or some shit? I don't know. He's loved this chick for too long. And I wanted, like, you know, Sarah Lynn Jones to just fucking pull him off that pony, man, you know? Put him on a different pony that would get him wet with pussy juice and, you know, appreciate him, you know? I mean, so what? He won't be able to play music with her, and he won't be able to live out, you know, the ultimate dream that he thought he could, you know, build with them, you know? They don't want to build it with him, so fuck it, you know? It's like, dude, move on, you know? This fucking dumb shit, they're in the next timeline with you. It may not be their spirits, but, you know, it's them. It's close enough, ain't it? Ain't it close enough? They may graduate anyway and then hook up with me there is what happened. Who knows? I don't know. They don't have to hook up with Vini to graduate. So. It would take a miracle, because it would take one of them contacting him. You see? And then it would take him having the balls to fucking, you know, respond. You see? Because, well, he probably would have the fear reaction. I don't know, he put his phone number on a fucking song. After he wrote 2 songs directly to her, he put a song out there that, like, you know, it's not supposed to be directly to her, but it kind of is, you know. I mean, everything that he does, you know, artistically, kind of has at least a little something to her, about her, or felt for her in it, even if it doesn't have anything to do with her. That's what's really weird about Vini's media content, and how it evolved after he fell in love with her. She became his muse, and his music grew. It just, like, it became cartoonishly big compared to what it was. I mean, you know, he could play other people's big music, but he couldn't make his own music seem that big, you know? I mean, it was rap songs, but fuck, man, he hated that, you know? It's like, because he didn't do rap for himself, he did that for his fucking brothers, to try and have, like, something where, you know, him and his family could do something together. And they'd rather fucking backstab him, you know, cuckold him, fucking talk bad about him, rob him, steal from him. You know, it's like fucking try and run him over with cars and shit. It's like, damn, man, you know, how many motherfuckers tried to run over this motherfucker before he finally got hit? You see, that's what's really tripped out about Vini's life. Is, you know, it took how many attempts before he finally wound up getting hit? Motherfuckers have seemed like they were determined to hit this motherfucker, man. So I really don't know what I'm going to share with you guys as far as a music video after this today. Maybe nothing. I didn't intend to do this video. Camera's feeling kind of heavy to me, so I'm going to stop fucking making videos for a while. You see? I'm going to pretend like Jesse and Nikki showed up, and I'm too distracted and busy now to do this thing anymore, because, well, Yah has taken me to another glory that involves, you know, working with them on something. Yeah. And for all you guys know, that's what's happening. And you'll be talking that shit, and you might manifest it when Pre-Vini couldn't. You know, that's all bullshit. You know, it won't happen. I totally never, ever, ever expect it to happen. Wouldn't it have been funny if I was saying never, ever, ever expect it to, and then as I did that and I looked over in this mirror, because I'm in the passenger seat of this little minivan, look over in this mirror and saw them walking up to the minivan because they'd been up there trying to get in, and I didn't respond, and they noticed I was out here. It would have been funny, man, if I was like, never have, and stop. Like, that would have been really funny, you know? It really would have. See, I got no worries. I'm going back home. And that's what creates such a problem for some people. Is like, okay, if you stay here and leave Vini there and he dies, or you die here, you died. No, I didn't. One of my spirits was going to die here anyway and get born there. You see? I'm already born there. It doesn't matter which one of us is there. Now, I know that it's, it's in Yah's plan that Vini accomplished shit and that he's here to, die here. You see? So while I'm here trying to manifest some details that will make Vini's life less of a fate worse than death. Even if it means just pulling in a woman, just a regular woman that he can fucking have drive him around, I mean, if that's all he can get, then, that's all he can get. But then, if I walk that out, will I, feel bad like when I walk this out? Okay, I locked him to this apartment. And this is only a year. I hook him up with a woman. How long is that? You see? Do you see the problem with making changes? Because what if, okay, I hook him up with a woman and then Nikki and Jesse, which ain't their name in the next timeline, but I wouldn't tell you if it was. What if that causes them to just disappear, fade away like Back to the Future, You see, there's that fear too, It's like I don't want to jeopardize Vini's hopes, even if they never manifest, if they never come true. You see. And in a way, it'd probably be better if they didn't, because he might find out that he can't fulfill either one of them, make them happy, make them calm, or, it's like he might find out that he can't perform music anymore, or fulfill a slot with them in any capacity. He might find out a lot of bad stuff about himself, and, that's another thing that's a big, huge, shadowy fear in his mind, man. I can see it. It's big. That he's afraid that he can't live up to what he could have lived up to when he fell in love with this chick. That, he got too old and too unpracticed. Like he gave up. I don't know. He kind of gave up years ago, but he just kept writing their songs, Kind of like, well, your faith is in your works, right? And he never wanted to give up faith in Yah and what he felt Yah put in his heart, which was to hook up with them guys. He just, Yah wants me to be with these guys. Yah has me feeling so protective towards them. Yah has me wanting to jam with them, even though I'm old as fuck and I'll feel self-conscious about it. Yah wants me to be all that and a bag of chips to these guys. How do you do that when you know that you're not that? You know what I'm saying? And Vini knows that he's not that. So it's like, yeah. Yah puts these weird fucking desires and expectations, into his heart and into his mind. And then he just looks like an old fucking delusional retard. So then people can make fun of him when, he's trying to suggest that he join their band and be their guitar player or whatever, their fans can make fun of him on Facebook, because it's just so funny, the thought of it to them, you see. And then he realizes, oh wow, I do look like a delusional old perverted retard coming off at these young girls wanting to play music with them and shit. Because, well, he could see into the future, into now, he could see to now that, well, by now they were supposed to be retiring. They've already done their shit, and the world didn't get this bad. It may be bad, but it ain't like this, because, well, they wouldn't have been the only music act that was up by them getting up, you see. There's other, connected acts that should have rose up too. They had the potential to produce the positive frequency resonance in the brainwaves of their fans when they heard their music, which is everything, man. Because, you know, it's all about the battle for the frequency resonance, you know. The Earth used to have a certain frequency, and now it doesn't. They changed it when they sucked all the coolant out of it. And they warped the orbit. So now you have to have a sun simulator when we're way out in the oval, way far out from the sun. And then when we're not far out from it, we're really close. It's hot as fucking, it's huge. It's just a giant sun. It's like, goddamn, who blew up the sun, made it big like that? You know, it's like, well, right now we're up close to it. But in a little while it'll be tiny again, and it seemed like a fucking light bulb in the sky, but it's still hot, and it's just ugly white, you know. It's not the color of the sun, because it's a sun simulator. It's reflecting the sun or whatever. It's sucking the sun's rays into it and trying to magnify them at sun level, because the sun's quite a bit ways away. You see? And that's why they created the FLE, you know, FE shit, you know. They literally convinced all these people that science is not science. And okay, here's the thing. If you think that NASA can pull the hoax that they pulled, then how come they couldn't have pulled a hoax against you and the world to make it look like they pulled a hoax, to make people think that a few erroneous strands from the scribes that actually described the whole simulation mechanism, simulation of the universe and galaxies, you see, which includes the Earth and the Sun. You see, how about they take a few strands of that and make that factual to you scripturally, so it's like it's scriptural, you see. And suddenly they've taken, you know, documented science that they have you halfway still believing because you believe in Starlink, but Starlink can't happen on your, you know, the model that you think. Starlink can only happen if what you think is not true is true. So they've split your mind, and you can't see that. A lot of entities here who they you know, you can look up at the sky and see it. All right, this thing is spinning, man. You know, and it's like, wow. You really, you know, how big-minded are you about yourself that, you know, the whole universe spins around you? The whole fucking universe spins around you. It's like, wow, you got very narcissistic in your religious beliefs. This is what's so cartoonish, you see? Is because you can't even consider that maybe the hoax is by making y'all think you exposed a hoax. Okay? That's the true delusion. Do you know Satan has been impersonating Lucifer, the buffer against him? The buffer between Yah's son, Yah's clone, Yeshua, and him. He's been impersonating him to everybody dumb enough who won't figure it out that he's actually a trans-spiritual, trans-technological science experiment that Yah utilized to use for the spirit scan. He didn't know it was going to run amok so bad, but he kind of did. And that's why Lucifer and him were at odds for a long time. Because, well, you know, in Lucifer's eyes, it don't matter if you undo it or not. Kind of like in Vini's eyes, too. You know, you made the animals suffer. You know, for what? For what you could have already deduced before they took it that far and just wiped them the fuck out. Put them in the time loops for their intent. So, all right, y'all. I guess I'm going to call it a night. I'm feeling kind of spooked out sitting out here like there's people watching me. See, it's like, that's another reason why I want to quit making the videos for a while is, you know, Vini changes up his life and his hours and everything all the time so that he cannot be cased out by his neighbors or by anybody. He keeps the feds on their toes, keeping up with them. He doesn't walk the same spots and shit. I've been doing very lax. I've been walking same spots, walking down same streets. I even fucking didn't notice that they had turned the location on his phone one time and left that shit on for God knows how long, you know? He doesn't have his location on. It doesn't stop him from locating it. It just, it doesn't make it as easy, you see? They have to utilize an app or some shit. You know, some shit to, you know, bypass the fact that the locator is turned off. So, alright, y'all. I'm gonna get Vini a Faraday bag for his phone. I want to find him a woman, but then I don't, you know, because, well, I don't want to intervene, you know, intervene. It would be intervention. See, now, if they were like to show up or some shit in some capacity while I'm here, then it was meant to be because, well, they did it. They showed up. They were going to, even if it was him here, you see. And they don't have to know one way or the other that it's me or him. And then I can just go back on the astroscape and send it back. Be like, hey, see, you were right. You and the girls are together, just like we are in the next timeline. And you were right. You had to hook up in this timeline for us to be together in the next timeline. You know, then I'd have to go admit that he was right. Yeah, maybe he's right, but I don't think so. I don't think that they have to hook up with him. They can graduate to the next timeline, we can hook up. You see? So, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I can't go into too much details about shit, you know? It's like there's, you know, have you noticed I tell you a lot of what's not there? You see? You notice I don't tell you what is there. There's a reason for that. There's rules and parameters to, you know, jumping. You know, if you can really jump, you know that you can't even let on like you can jump. I've already crossed lines with, you know, because, well, I am an entity who's supposed to let people know that I'm jumping. And I figured that out. That, you know, okay, I'm supposed to let people know. And I think Vini has even talked about me, you know, me in the future timeline. I'm pretty sure I have that here in his physical memory that he's made videos where he's talked about me. And what he graduated to. And how they didn't keep him from getting it. Well, right now he's enjoying it. You see? That's got to be a big old fucking stick up their craw, huh? Yeah, there you go. Let there be a quiver in your fucking, what is it? We have many quivers in our, what is it? We have many arrows in our quiver. Okay, is that what she said? Some weird shit. Somebody better get busy cursing them arrows, man. And them quivers too, yo. Yeah. See, this ass has been sitting in this stem in a baggie. So now it's like aged a little bit. It's lost some of its potency. It's not so tough. Either that or I don't know. Maybe it's different strains of it. Maybe it's mixing the weed with it. I don't know. Maybe the weed's what's doing it. It just seems like there's a component in something that I've been smoking beyond the vapes, besides the vapes. The vapes don't do it. And it could be like cigarettes too, putting it in conjunction with the cigarettes, which is why I wanted to cut back, maybe just completely quit. Like, you know, by some fluke, you know, I ended up hooked up while I was here with them guys. Vini would be pretty much broke with cigarettes time he got back, if it took him a month to come back. You see? Because I know he would want to try and quit for them guys because they don't smoke. There's things about himself that he's willing to try changing, I know that. I know that he would have to bathe a lot more often, shower a lot more. right now. He's like, because nobody's ever close to him. Nobody's ever within 6 feet of him. You know, is like he's like carbon footprint and all that shit. And why, you know, why waste the expensive shit? You know, I got to get him some more warm vanilla sugar, Bath and Body Works fucking shit. Got to find a way to get him there or order it. I mean, I can order online. Yeah, that's weird how you can do that here. See, I'm trying not to do shit that get him fucked up. You know, get him on the news or anything like that. You know, in a bad way. In a good way wouldn't be bad, you know, but in a bad way, it's like, you know, I'm trying not to become something, you know, like do something and then he's got to come back and he's got to deal with that mess. You know, I already did that once with the bullshit that I did when I told the future in that video, and motherfuckers flipped out like, you know, you told our plans. Oh, you know, okay. Damn, you don't think about that when you go back and to another timeline where the motherfuckers are there. Because, well, they ain't there in the next timeline. And you go back to that timeline and you're talking about them on a video. And they're going to hear it, or somebody that knows of them's going to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And be like, you know, oh, wow, this motherfucker, you know, knows what we're going to do, you know? And then they trip out and shit, you see? So then you learn to try and put like a foolproof filter that not even a retard could fuck up. And there's like a whole vocabulary that you won't tap into. Your spirit vocabulary, you don't tap into your spirit vocabulary at all. You totally only tap into what's in the flesh here. And you only deliver what's in the flesh here. You see? To other flesh here. And then you can't fuck up like I did. And man, I created problems big time between that and fucking that fucking song and that stupid ass shit of him not making it to their show. Which, you know, I guess that turned entities against him. I don't know. Suddenly, as fast as he was liked, he was not liked. So, but people pretended like they could be forgiving, you know, if he just, I don't know, take the proper steps and shit. So I know that by now that butt coffee should be cool enough that I can put some cold water in it and get it up in these luscious butt cheeks on this motherfucker right here, and get him cleaned out. It's gonna be a long night. I'm gonna run a laptop plug into the bathroom and take it in there for the long drawn out drain out. These fuckers still never gave a toilet seat up, you know. It's like, fuck, I just had to break the other tab off of it so it'd sit flat, because you'll fuck around and cut your fucking dick off, man, when that thing slides. You sit on it and it slides, you know. They don't realize it, that, you know, for somebody old with a penis and nuts, that thing's like a guillotine, man, you know. A fucking ball guillotine and shit. You know, this body here is still young and virile and shit, so it's like I was able to stop the slide. But the fucker's loose and it's broke. You know, it has pieces missing off of it. So I'm gonna buy another one of those. I don't know how much it's gonna cost. Probably not too much. I'll just replace it. Fuck it. You know, Lisa says she called them about it, but you know, if they were gonna replace it, it would have been here by now. Because that was like the first few days. And they were all like, oh, if you notice anything wrong, just call so-and-so and tell her, and we'll get it fixed right up, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing how that's working out. It's as simple as a toilet seat. You don't even got to fix it. Just, you know, put it against my door or fucking knock. I'll fucking open the door, grab it, and cool, I'll put it on. It's just a toilet seat. Any fool can do it. So, all right, y'all. This has been a nice little temporary timeline discussion. I enjoyed hollering at y'all this evening. I hope you enjoyed hearing from me I hope in some capacity I was entertaining to you. And hopefully it'll be a while before I do another video for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? Because, well, I really am too busy. Because, well, you know, things could change. You really could.
What? Where my infrared camera at? On my strobe light. Need to shine it on that thing up over there. What thing? Up over where? You can't see it. Not with your eyes. Boots on the ground. Look out, they're coming for ya. Weaponize it all. They're always gunning for ya. AI on the prowl. Quantum praying on ya. Boots on the ground. Look out, they're coming for ya. Got their bots out. Told them go and get them. Order out of chaos, but we ain't gonna let them. Subject me to their lunacy, venom and hypocrisy. Hide behind a grin and toxic animosity. Boots on the ground. Look out, they're coming for ya. Weaponize it all. They're always gunning for ya. AI on the prowl. Quantum praying on ya. Boots on the ground. Look out, they're coming for ya. Elevate stupidity and gross retardation. They claim it's all a joke to avoid the condemnation. Denying culpability, getting off on tricking me. Living moral tragedy, changing up reality. Boots on the ground. Look out, they're coming for ya. Weaponize it all. They're always gunning for ya. AI on the prowl. Quantum praying on ya. Boots on the ground. Look out, they're coming for ya. You might not ever see them, but know they're all around. Engaging in their fantasy. Boots are on the ground. Robots are invisible. Strobe them with a light. They know what you can't see. You ain't ever gonna fight. Boots on the ground. Look out, they're coming for ya. Weaponize it all. They're always gunning for ya. AI on the prowl. Quantum praying on ya. Boots on the ground. Look out, they're coming for ya. Boots on the ground. Look out, they're coming for ya. Weaponize it all. They're always gunning for ya. AI on the prowl. Quantum praying on ya. Boots on the ground. Look out, they're coming for ya.